This is the J3 Cub taxiing out to the south end runway for a northerly takeoff. Conditions are clear and fine. Plane is on its 6th flight. I've been noticing a little bit of a challenge with the right landing gear, and it's been rubbing a little bit, causing challenges on takeoff and also on landing. Despite this, we're going to pull up here and prepare for takeoff. Elevator, rudder, ailerons, J3 Cub taking off, tail flying and abort. So that was a prime example of that towing to the right that I'm experiencing with this model. It's got a lack of a spacer on the right wheel, a space that is clearly necessary for even friction. Let's try for a slightly more rolling start, building up speed, and I've lost it. The thing about flying a tail dragger plane is that you clearly want to, be able to keep it straight, but you do get that delayed reaction. So I responded left, and then the reaction of that left turn was much later. Alright, trying again. Third attempt. Trying to catch it again though, that left rudder input swaying, causing that oscillation and needing to abort the takeoff. This has to be it now. Let's just commit to a slow increase of throttle. We're on the grass. The wheels can handle it. And we are finally up after about 2 minutes of on the 4th attempt, we are up. Nice steep bank angle of about 60 degrees. And coming in for a high speed pass from the north. Pulling back on that stick. Good 20-30 degree climb rate. Leveling out. Gentle bank to the left. Wings level, downward leg. Okay. Something about this plane just seems to be really stable. Really happy with the way that it is handling. So we're flying over the south end now. There's the runway below us, and wings level, a little bit of a left rudder input, followed by a right rudder input. And there's another plane in the circuit, which is a small turbo timber. Coming back in around now with a slightly steeper turn. Reduced throttle and rudder assisted to stop that slipping. A few things I want to practice with this plane on this flight. My approaches, my approach speed, a bit of a rudder wag there. Sort of level, doing a flyby. Needed to be a lot slower for a landing, but I am flying circuits. So when sharing the airspace with another plane, it's customary to fly the agreed circuit to reduce any risk of congestion or mid-airs. I'm challenging myself here with the low approach, low circuit, trying to lie dead center. Reducing that throttle back, holding off a flare for a touch and go. Touchdown. Ooh. That throttle coming back on there got us away from transitioning into the grass. So that line between the tarmac and the grass can be pretty detrimental in terms of its unevenness, but it's a challenge nonetheless to commit to the tarmac and Clearly by the takeoffs I'm having some challenges with this plane's landing gear, so I'm just putting it through its paces to really assess that. Coming in again, faster approach, and deciding against the touch and go, staying low, climbing slowly. Beautiful scenery out here over the lake. Continuing the circuits on downwind right now. Reducing that throttle slightly earlier. Going to turn back in now onto base. Continued onto final. Crabbing along with the rudder, straightening out, touching down, I believe, the right wheel. And we're up again. So we're really dialed in. That is that sink rate and takeoff speed. Now I feel like I have that dialed in terms of when I can safely touch down and when I can bug out, so to speak, and climb back up. It's a lot faster than you'd think. The plane is not heavy. It's about 3.6 kilograms and probably 4.5 flying weight. Why don't we go and check out the aerobatic performance, pushing into a bit of a dive there, finding that airspeed that is going to be appropriate for basic aerobatic maneuvers. Slipping through this turn, could have used a little bit more right rudder. Nonetheless, climbing up ever so surely, and I think this is enough altitude. Pushing into that loop, pulling back on the stick, trying to keep the wings level, and not enough power through that loop. That reduced throttle at the top there caused a bit of a snap at the apex of the loop, short loop. Throttle still off, coming in for a descending pass and settling the aircraft above the tarmac and continuing on. So that sort of flyby speed is now well established. Once I know the slowest I can fly, I can start to work on my descents. A good way to practice your descents is not relying on the throttle. Knowing what the plane can do with and without throttle is integral to understanding how to increase or decrease your performance. So I guess when you're coming in for a landing approach in a new plane, it's usually desirable to come in a little bit fast, but over time you want to slow that down. The real question is how much you can slow it down. So identifying your takeoff speed, which we have, a good way to drill that is with a gliding descent or a throttle off descent, which we're going to do, and we're already in. So descending down, you can hear the prop slowing down, judging the airspeed pretty well. I'm just doing a really safe gliding descent circuit, picking a height for my downwind, turning onto base, trying to keep those wings relatively level to stretch that glide out, and committing to the landing, touching down, again careering off the runway. That right wheel is going to be repaired before the next flight. Thank you for flying with me, and I hope you enjoyed.